All right, get comfy, grab your emotional support beverage, and brace yourself. Because Quicksilver by Callie Hart is not here to play nice. We open in the sun-scorched desert city of Zilverin, where water is so rare it's basically liquid gold. Enter Cyrus Fane, 20-something thief, fiercely protective big sister, and walking metal detector with serious trust issues. She's just trying to get by in a world that thinks empathy is a design flaw. One day, Saras makes a very bold choice. She steals a golden gauntlet from a terrifying guardian. Small crime, big consequences like arrested, tortured, dragged in front of an immortal queen consequences. But just when things look terminal, she yanks a sword out of the ground, the floor turns into silver soup, and bam, death shows up. Not just any death. Hot, brooding, immortal death with a sword and a complicated past. So Saras wakes up thinking, did I just get murdered by a magic puddle? Nope. She wakes up alive and healed in a snow-covered palace that looks like Elsa moved in and brought weaponized aesthetic. She's greeted by Everlane, a kind but mildly exasperated fae woman who hands her a glass of water like it's nothing. Saras, a girl from a desert city where people trade body parts for hydration, nearly has a breakdown on the spot. Turns out she's not in Kansas anymore. This is Eelia, home of the fae, and the broody death god. Yeah, his name is Kingfisher, or just Fisher if you're not into dramatic titles. He's Everlane's brother, a cursed prince with a chip on his shoulder, and what might be the worst attitude in the multiverse. Saras is, understandably, not thrilled. She wants to go home. But Fisher, Everlane, and their hulking war general friend Wren are like, nope, you pulled the Sword of Solace from its resting place. That makes you kind of a big deal. The Quicksilver pool you woke? Yeah, that's ancient world-hopping magic. And now everybody's interested in you, including some people who definitely shouldn't be. Saras doesn't take any of this well. She's pissed, bristling with attitude, and one sarcastic eyebrow away from throttling someone. But Fisher, he's not fazed. Instead of helping her leave, he starts training her to use the Quicksilver. His idea of coaching is 40% flirting, 40% vague threats, and 20% you should have died, but here we are. Cue the tension and the snark. Lots of it. Meanwhile, Saras starts having odd interactions with metal. It moves when she wants it to. It whispers, sings, obeys. Everyone says she might be something called an alchemist, a mythic role believed to be extinct. She's still denying it. But let's be honest, Saras is about to find out that denying your powers in a romantasy novel is like trying to stop a landslide with a broom. Also, she adopts a fox. It bites her. She names it Onyx. This will matter, sort of. So Saras is getting pretty sick of being everyone's magical science experiment. Fisher wants her to learn to control Quicksilver. The king of Eelia, Belicon, wants to weaponize her. In Saras, she just wants to go home, take a nap, and maybe punch something. She hatches a plan. A dumb plan, but a plan. Using her natural talents, sarcasm, and making questionable choices, Saras distracts Fisher with a kiss. Yes, a kiss. Just a little one. Mid-lesson, mid-flirt, she grabs his face, kisses him like it's a Netflix original, and yoinks his ring. Honestly, a performance worthy of a standing ovation and jail time. But Fisher catches her, and he's livid. After some yelling, eye-rolling, and more flirting, because these two are incapable of communicating without it, he agrees to help on one condition. She has to swear a blood oath, which is romantasy code for you're about to make a magically binding deal you will immediately regret. The deal? He'll try to bring someone back from Zilverin, whoever she names, but in exchange, Saras has to obey everything he says, like full-on magical NDA with extra drama. So they make the deal. She picks her brother Hayden, obviously. He's her whole reason for all this mess. Fisher disappears through the Quicksilver, and an hour later, he comes barreling back through like he's on fire. Only one tiny problem. He didn't bring Hayden. He brought Carrion Swift. Yes. The walking red flag, the flirtatious crime goblin. Her ex-booty call turned surprise guest star. Why? Because Carrion told Fisher he was Hayden, and the blood oath didn't specify surnames. Magic contract loophole, brutal. Saras is done. She's about 3 seconds from snapping Fisher in half like a breadstick. But the portal's closed, the deal's sealed, and they're officially stuck with this hot mess of a party. And so it begins the least romantic magical road trip in Fae history. One grumpy prince, one snarky thief, one furious girl with zero chill, and a possibly demonic fox named Onyx. Our new dysfunctional traveling circus sets out for Kalish, Fisher's moody little corner of the Fae realm. It's a burned-out, war-torn wasteland crawling with vampires, cursed weapons, and backstory. Perfect vacation spot. Saras, still seething from the surprise Carrion fiasco, starts to get a clearer picture of just how messy this world is. Apparently, there's a never-ending war going on between the Fae of Eelia and the vampires of Sanisroth, and not the sexy, sparkly kind. These ones bite, burn, and multiply like nightmare rabbits. Speaking of cursed things, Fisher's not doing great. His quicksilver poisoning is getting worse. Silver threads are visible in his eyes, and he's starting to come apart at the magical seams. And just when Saras is maybe starting to tolerate him, she gets the biggest bombshell of all. She and Fisher? Yeah, they're fated mates. The runes on her hands, magical soul-matching tattoos, the weird headaches, telepathic soulmate, hotline, the constant bickering and unresolved sexual tension, apparently part of the bonding process. Naturally, both of them take this news with grace and maturity. Just kidding. Saras flips out, Fisher brews dramatically, and Carrion makes sarcastic comments from the corner like it's open mic night. Fisher says he's going to reject the bond because, duh, he's dying and doesn't want to drag her down with him. Saras, meanwhile, is torn between this is romantic and get away from me, you dramatic metal man. But just when you think things are getting too emotional, they finally sleep together. And not in the oops, I tripped way. In the this is deeply emotional and somehow still competitive kind of way. It's hot, it's confusing, it's very, very romantic-y. And the morning after, Fisher is gone, left a note, no forwarding address, said something vague about fate, sacrifice, and rescuing his sister Everlane alone, which is code for he's planning to die. But Saras, she's not about to let her possibly doomed, magically bound, emotionally constipated soulmate go out in a blaze of glory without her. Yep, it's rescue time. Well, more of an attempt, too. She grabs her sword, her chaotic fox, her even more chaotic ex-Carrion, and Fisher's stone-faced ally, Loreth, and storms off through a magical gate to Gilethri, the cursed city Fisher disappeared into. The place is pure nightmare fuel. Ruined buildings, vampire smoke in the air, and an aura of, you're definitely gonna die here. And while she's plotting this wildly underprepared extraction mission, her powers decide to level up again. Turns out the Quicksilver isn't just sparkly space metal, it talks and likes her, which frankly is more emotional support than most people have given her lately. She asks it to help her forge a sword for Loreth, and it agrees in exchange for a song. Yep, she trades a tune for a magical legendary blade. The new sword is powerful, magical, and everyone around her starts looking at Saras like she might be a prophet or a walking apocalypse. Meanwhile, Saras starts realizing she's not just playing with forbidden magic, she is the forbidden magic. Her control over metal is unheard of. Her connection to the Quicksilver is unnatural, and the gods, they're watching her like she's reality TV. She's also beginning to understand that she's not just here to rescue Fisher. She's a key piece in some ancient cosmic mess involving magical bloodlines, undead armies, and gods with very bad communication skills. But for now, she's laser focused. Rescue mission on. So welcome to Gilethri, the Fae realm's least desirable Airbnb. Picture post-apocalyptic vampire Vegas, but somehow worse. Everything's falling apart, the air tastes like ash and bad decisions, and Saras and her makeshift squad have about a 10% chance of not dying horribly. They sneak through crumbling ruins, dodging feral undead called feeders, which are Basically, zombified fae with zero chill and an all-you-can-eat human buffet mentality. At the top of this undead pyramid scheme is Malcolm, the ancient vampire king who looks like he hasn't moisturized since the Ice Age. And guess what? He's not just your average big bad. Because plot twist, Malcolm, Queen Madra, and King Belicon, siblings. That's right. The entire war, the endless bloodshed, the political chaos, it's been a long, elaborate family spat over power, ego, and probably who got the last cookie a few centuries ago. And while that horrifying revelation is settling in, guess who they finally find? Fisher, shackled, tortured, shirtless. Because of course. He's hanging on by a thread and still somehow manages to throw shade at Carrion mid-rescue. Iconic behavior. Now it's time to make a move. But instead of a tactical plan, Carrion, Saras' chaotic ex-flame with zero sense of self-preservation, decides to go full kamikaze. Turns out Carrion is secretly high fae royalty and carries a rare bloodline, so cursed it makes vampires break out in metaphorical hives. He throws himself at Malcolm like a glitter bomb of ancestral vengeance. It works, kind of. Malcolm gets torched, but Carrion takes a beating in the process. While everyone's busy panicking, Saras does what she does best, improvise and nearly die. She tracks the Quicksilver coin, the magical MacGuffin that can free all the trapped souls. She grabs it. Malcolm stabs her. She stabs him back. It's messy. It's dramatic. It's giving final boss fight, but make it personal. Malcolm dies. The city crumbles. The ghosts are finally free. And Saras, she drops like a stone, bleeding out, heartbreaking music swelling, fade to black. The last thing she sees is Fisher fighting to reach her. Then, nothing. So, Saras dies. Not almost, not kind of. This time, it's the real deal. Honestly, it was bound to happen eventually. Her life's been one long game of chicken with death. So, of course, she has a punch card for the afterlife. And guess what? It just got stamped. But plot twist, instead of eternal sleep or haunting Fisher like a melodramatic ghost wife, she wakes up somewhere else. It's not heaven, it's not hell, it's Zareth's living room. Zareth, the literal god of chaos. He looks like someone who plays chess against himself and still cheats. He's been watching Saras the whole time like she's his favorite chaos muppet. And now he wants to have a chat. Here's the tea. Saras wasn't supposed to be able to do any of this. The Quicksilver magic, the god-killing coin, the magical sword forging. Yeah, she's not just special, she's one of a kind. And now that she's dead, she's become something even weirder. Part fae, part vampire, part oops, the prophecy broke. And Zareth, he's obsessed. He tells her that her bond with Fisher is problematic. If they stay together, they could rip the realms wide open. The gods didn't plan for this. Their souls weren't meant to link, but they did. And now the gods are watching like nervous babysitters. Zareth, being the cosmic gremlin he is, doesn't tell her to stop. Instead, he resurrects her because he wants to see what she does next. She wakes up in the wreckage of Gillethry, very much alive and looking like the final boss of a fantasy video game. Fisher finds her, jaw on the floor, because same, and just stares. No words. He's half convinced he hallucinated her. The people of Sanisroth, they don't ask questions. They just kneel. To them, she's not the girl who stole a gauntlet, kissed death, and accidentally unlocked ancient metal magic. She's the one who killed Malcolm, freed the souls, came back from the dead, glowing. So yeah, queen material. Fisher stays by her side, broody, loyal, probably still emotionally unavailable. But this time, he doesn't leave. They don't make any declarations. No dramatic speeches, just shared looks that say, we might destroy the world, but we'll do it together. Ah, so cutesy. Someone get them matching apocalypse rings. Anyway, the realm is broken, the gods are nervous, and there are still ancient powers at play who see Saras as a threat or a weapon, but right now, she's alive, she's in charge, and she has absolutely no idea what she's doing. Perfect. Long live Queen Saras, the sharpest blade, the unlikeliest ruler, and the girl who made fate blink first.